Is question number 17, and it gives us a piecewise function such that f of x is equal to x plus 1 when x is less than or equal to negative 2, x is negative 1, or y is negative 1 when negative 2 is less than x, which is less than 1, and y is equal to x squared plus 2 when x is greater than or equal to 2. And it says, first to find the x values on which y, we want y to be less than or equal to 0. So, for this first part, any negative value that I plug in here up through a negative 2 will give me negative values. So I know that it's at least going to be from negative infinity to negative 2 bracket. But then again, I look here, and all of my y values are negative from negative 2 to 1 as well. So I'm going to put a union with negative 2 to 1 in parentheses. And then after 1, all of my values will be positive. So my actual range for that is going to be from negative infinity to 1. And I broke it up like this but I'm including negative 2 here and not there, so I can just combine it as 1. So the first part of that question is from negative infinity to 1. And then the problem gets a little bit tricky, but it's not that bad once you realize what they're asking. And then it says, for part B, and in the problem it also says, and g is a 1-to-1 function such that g of 1 is equal to negative 2. And it says, for part B, let a equal f of negative 2, b equals the inverse of g of negative 2, and c equals your y-intercept. Find a minus b minus c. So a will be pretty straightforward, f of negative 2. Well, at negative 2, we'll be using this formula. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Minus b, and then we'll have to look here, because b is equal to the inverse of g of negative 2, and since we know this part right here, so negative 2 is equal to 1 in the inverse function, so b is 1, minus c, the y-intercept, and it means the y-intercept in your f of x equation, and that is going to be where x is 0, so x is 0, when x is 0, y is negative 1, so it's plus 1. So you get negative 1 minus 1, which is a negative 2, plus 1, which is a negative 1. So that is your answer to part B.